నారాయణం నమస్కృత్య నరం చైవ నరోత్తమం దేవీం సరస్వతిం వ్యాసం తతో జయముదీరయేత్ నష్టప్రాయేషు భద్రేషు నిత్యం భాగవత సేవయా నారాయణం నమస్కృత్య భగవతి ఉత్తమ శ్లోకే నరోత్తమం భక్తిర్భవతి నైష్ఠికీ సరస్వతిం వ్యాసం. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, chapter 8, text number 19. మాయాజవనికాచ్ఛన్నం అజ్ఞాదోక్షజమవ్యయం నలక్ష్యతే మూఢదృశా నటో నాట్యధరో యతా. మాయాజవనికాచ్ఛన్నం అజ్ఞాదోక్షజమవ్యయం నలక్ష్యసే మూఢదృశా నటో నాట్యధరో యతా. మాయాజవనికాచ్ఛన్నం అజ్ఞాదోక్షజమవ్యయం నలక్ష్యసే మూఢదృశా నటో నాట్యధరో యతా.
మాయాజవనికాచ్ఛన్నం అజ్ఞాదోక్షజమవ్యయం లక్ష్యసే మూఢదృశా నటో నాట్యధరో యతా. మాయాజవనికాచ్ఛన్నం
లక్ష్యసే మూఢదృశా నటో నాట్యధరో యతా. మాయాజవనికాచ్ఛన్నం అజ్ఞాదోక్షజమవ్యయం నలక్ష్యసే మూఢదృశా నటో నాట్యధరో యతా. Synonyms: Maya, deluding; Javanika, cutting; Archannam, covered by; Agna, ignorant; Adokshajam, beyond the range of material conception; transcendental; Avyayam, irreproachable; Na, not; Lakshase, observed; Moodha, Drisa, by the foolish observer; Nataha, artist; Natyadaraha, dressed as a player; Yata, yes. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. Translation with repetition. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna affirms that less intelligent persons mistake him to be an ordinary man like us, and thus they deride him. The same is confirmed herein by Queen Kunti. The less intelligent persons are those who rebel against the authority of the Lord. Such persons are known as asuras. The asuras cannot recognize the Lord's authority. When the Lord himself appears amongst us as Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, or in his original form as Krishna, he performs many wonderful acts which are humanly impossible. As we shall find in the 10th canto of the great literature, Lord Sri Krishna exhibited his humanly impossible activities even from the days of his lying on the lap of his mother. He killed the Putana witch, although she smeared her breast with poison. To the residents of Vrindavan. There are some of superhuman activities of the Lord described in the authoritative Vedic literatures like Puranas, Itihasas, and Upanishads. He has delivered wonderful instructions in the shape of Bhagavad Gita. He has shown marvelous capacities as a hero, as a householder, as a teacher, as a renouncer. He is accepted as the supreme Godhead by such authority personalities as Vyasa, Devala, Asita, Narada, Madhva, Shankara, Ramanuja, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and all other authorities of the line. He himself has declared much in many places as of the authentic literature, and yet there is a class of men with demonic mentality who are always reluctant to accept the Lord as the supreme absolute truth. Partially due to their poor fund of knowledge and partially due to their stubborn obstinacy which results from various misdeeds in the past and present. Such persons could not recognize the Lord Sri Krishna even when he was present before them. Another difficulty is that those who depend more on their imperfect senses cannot realize him as Supreme Lord. Such persons are like modern scientists. They want to know everything by their experimental knowledge, but it's impossible to know the Supreme Person by imperfect experimental knowledge. He is described herein as Adokshaja, or beyond the range of experimental knowledge. All our senses are imperfect. We claim to observe everything and anything, but we must admit that we can observe things under certain material conditions only, which are also beyond our control. The Lord is beyond the observer of sense perception. Queen Kunti accepts this deficiency of the conditioned soul, especially of a human class or a woman class who are less intelligent. For less intelligent men, there must be such things as temples, mosques, churches, so that they begin to recognize the authority of the Lord and hear about Him from authorities in such holy places. For less intelligent men, this beginning of spiritual life is essential, and only foolish men declare the establishment of such places of worship, which are required to raise the standard of spiritual attributes for the mass of people. For less intelligent persons, bowing down before the authority of the Lord, as generally done in the temples, mosques, and churches, is as beneficial as it is for the advanced devotees to meditate upon Him by active service. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Thapitam Dena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadankitam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are in Kunti Maharani prayers. So Kunti Maharani exalted prayers are glorifications of the Lord. The words she used in her prayers are exemplary, and even Puranas, even Mahabharata, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Puranas, these are all continuously repeating her prayers, and so many devotees repeats her prayers because the selected words she used are very exemplary. Now in this verse, she's basically saying Maya Javani Kachannam Agnadokshajam Avayam Nalakshase Modadrusa Nato Nate Daroyata. So the Lord is not visible. Lord is present within us as Paramatma, but we cannot even understand, or we cannot even think of Him. And we have read in the scriptures, we have read in so many places. That's what Prabhupada is quoting. So many places it's been described that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his avatars, so many avatars are there, Dasa avatara like that, so many avatars are there. Still people are unable to understand, unable to get a sense of Lord, including the devotees who practice were unable to get the sense of the Lord. So here Kunti Maharani, the deficiency, the defects, see the defects of she is pointing out. Why people are unable to understand Krishna, it's a deficiency she is pointing out here. So if you see the purport, Prabhupada has given very elaborate purport on this. So few important points we can just think of this. So generally, a question for all of you. Why, in spite of reading so many times, we are unable to sense of the Lord? Lord is within our heart as a Paramatma. And we know if you can get communication with the Lord through mind, in 3rd chapter Krishna says, so that's the end of it. You are liberated. And he is sitting here. What is the main obstacle stopping us to realize, stopping us to think of this? What do you say? What is the main obstacle? Here Prabhupada elaborated in the purport. Covering, no, three modes covering. 3 modes covers us, you mean to say, 3 modes covering. So illusional energy you are telling. But now illusion energy is there for everybody. Why we are, after coming into Krishna consciousness, we are not able to understand? Anarthas. Prabhupada says here, and there is a class of men, demonic mentality, who are always reluctant to accept the Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is partially due to their poor fund of knowledge. Poor fund of knowledge, and partially due to their stubborn obstinacy, which results from various. Here is the clip. See, we are all very fortunate if you can take this Krishna conscious movement. We are very fortunate because Prabhupada has made system in such a way that if somebody follows strictly, very strictly Prabhupada's principles, they can actually strike, they can go through this. It's because our sinful activities, past sinful activities are stopping us. The sinful activities what we perform, that stops us. And second thing, why these sinful activities? Why you are performing sinful activities? Why are we performing sinful activities? What is the cause for sinful activities? No, those are all the reasons. For a devotees, the basic not following the regulative principles are the basic reasons for not able to understand. Because if you don't follow the regulative principles, then you will commit sins, and those sins are becoming obstacle for us to get advance. Okay, so now why you are not able to follow? We take it granted. That's the thing. That's it. That's all. So for all these root cause, for all problems, root cause starts from, Prabhupada says in another context, Prabhupada says all the root causes starts from your input. Food. Food is one of the very important element in our lives, devotees' lives. So we are not talking about general public, but generally devotee perspective, food is very, very crucial. What happens? The food is what you take, the food. Should be very carefully taken. So we may think like, okay, once in a while I take biscuit, I go to a party or go to outside, I don't have any food. So once in a while I just take one biscuit packet and eat. That's okay. I mean to say it is very extreme cases if you don't have anything. So in India, like places like this place, it's not very, if you are in a desert, you don't have anything, that's kind of an exception will be there. But this continuously become habituated. For example, you go to say Akshaya Patra, they'll actually serve that, some juice or some biscuits. Those biscuits, okay, it's okay. In Akshaya Patra only just click 1, 2, 3. And you habituated that. But Prabhupada is saying here, in this very important thing is, how this food is creating problem. For example, if you take a food which is cooked by gross materialists, that contaminates our conscience. Say for us, input, one of the major part of our life is food. Okay, this food, if you don't take a proper food and you take a contaminated food, that contaminates your consciousness. When it contaminates your consciousness, then you become rebellious or you become independent. All the ideas what you get, all the ideas you get from what? You get you associate with mode. So these three modes are acting in our life. Nothing is there. In this world, only three modes are acting. According to three modes, you are associating with sometimes Sattva-guna, sometimes Rajoguna, sometimes Tamoguna. I think we may not be associating with Sattva-guna. We will always be associating with Rajoguna, Tamoguna as per current status. So when you associate Rajoguna, then obviously your Rajasic activities increase. Say for example, you are attempting to do something in Rajasic. In Rajasic, what happens? What is the main disadvantage with Rajasic is it actually leads to distress. Rajasic nature leads to distress. Goodness leads to knowledge. Tamasic leads to foolishness. Okay. Sattva-guna gives you knowledge. Knowledge means happiness. Rajoguna gives you distress. Distress means suffering. Tamoguna makes you foolish. Foolishness means represents what? Most distress in the highest degree of suffering. Foolishness refers to highest degree of suffering. Say just like animals. These animals, they are always suffering. They always suffer. They never be happy because always they have thousands of tension. So much tension. For food tension, for coming out tension, from going out tension, so much tension. In tension they live. So, this food what you take, so many shlokas are there in Bhagavad Gita. Yajnasishtasya nashyanto muchyante sarvakilbishai bhunjante agam papam epachante atmakaranat. The food what you take is most important. And Prabhupada has given, in 17th chapter, Krishna says about the food. According to the food your faith develops. According to the food, your mode develops. In ashram culture, the food what we take is a prasadam. No doubt about that. But prasadam should be regulated consumption. Otherwise, it will also give a reverse effect. Atyahara viharasya. If you take atyahara, you take so much prasadam, then obviously it will lead to, there is a material effect. Spiritual effect is there, but material effects dominates, then you become ignorant and you are not able to understand the main purpose of staying here and main purpose of understanding the spiritual nature, understanding the Lord. And somebody comes and asks, the devotees comes and asks, Prabhupada, we are not able to understand anything. We are so many years are they not able to understand. The issue is you are not taking very seriously, or you are taking it granted. Taking it granted. That's called familiarity. So here Krishna says how the food affects. How Sattva-guna food, Rajoguna food, Tamoguna food. Ayush Sattvam, Sattva Balarogya, Sukha Priti Vivardanaha, Rashyaha Snigdasya Sthirashrudya, Ahara Satvika Priyaha. So Kattvamla Lavanati Ushnaha, Tikshna Ruksha Vidanhinaha, Ahara Rajasa Sheshta, Dukkha Soka Maya Pradaha. Sattva-guna Ahara, in Krishna says one place, you come to knowledge, then all your senses, that Navarandras will become illuminated with the knowledge. What do you understand with that? All Navarandras will illuminate with knowledge. In 6th chapter Krishna says, 6th or 5th chapter? 5th chapter. 5th chapter Krishna says, you become fully knowledgeable. Every part is become knowledge. Means what? If you are in Sattva-guna or you are in devotional service, every part becomes knowledge. That means every part works smoothly. It is smooth. If there is any problem, that it is not smooth means this is the issue. Every part works smooth. That is called Sattva-guna. Of course, for a devotee, these are all, we'll come to the point. For devotee is a different dimension, different logic works out. Okay. For karmi also, money is sweeter than honey. For devotee also, money is sweeter than honey. So, but different purpose. So, that way, we are all out of this. But still, we need to know this knowledge so that we don't, at least, if you wanted to take something outside, at least you will take Sattva-guna food. In case if it is not offered food, it is not allowed at all, but in case, so you will have knowledge. Otherwise, you take a Tamoguna food, that's all, full contamination. See, it is not, to destroy our enthusiasm, one stick is enough, one contamination is enough to destroy our enthusiasm or interest. It is not that you have to prolonged way, no. So, don't touch at all. Outside food, don't touch at all. No touching, because you don't know who cooked and what is. Say, for example, bread, it has come from somewhere, some company. That bread you are taking. That bread is, we don't know what kind of conditions they have made. In ashram, what we do Suddhi. We purify that. Before getting into that, we purify that. So these are all things you should be very careful. It should not become a regular activity that go there and eat. So that we authorities, we don't allow, of course. That's where all the regulative principles laid by Srila Prabhupada, it's not impose on us. Impose on us, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. Authorities, they say you should do this. It is not imposition for us. It is actually helping, supporting us. Otherwise, the goal of life is to understand Krishna is missed out. The purpose here, what we come to understand Krishna, it will be missed out. That's where these rules and regulations. See, if you see our ashram, or if you see in a devotee community, whatever principles Prabhupada laid, it all, if you see, karmi world, if you see, these are all burdens. It's a botheration. Getting up early in the morning, 3:34. Is it not botheration? So recently one person complained, big complaint he made about us. Because early morning coming, dhang, here, mridanga. He came from Port or somewhere, night, and he slept. By the time he is sleeping, he is looking at sound, dhang, to 4:30 or 7 o'clock. For them it is difficult. For us it is not difficult. It is actually, it is very, very happy because we are pleasing the Lord. So we should become greed to please the Lord. Our greed should increase. We become rajasic to please the Lord. And tamasic to enjoy material world. So, this goodness, foods in mode of goodness increases the duration of life, purify one's existence, give strength, health, happiness, satisfaction. What is that food? Such nourishing foods are sweet, juicy, flattering, and palatable. Foods are too bitter, too sour, salty, pungent, dry, and hot are liked by people in the mode of passion. That means it is reverse also. When you take that, you become associated with the mode of passion. When you take this, you become associated with mode of goodness. When you take this food which causes pain and distress and disease, food cooked more than 3 hours before eating, which is tasteless, stale, putrid, decomposed, unclean is food liked by the people of mode of ignorance. That means when you take this food, you become mode of ignorance. When you become mode of ignorance, mode of passion, you will not be able to approach the Lord. The curtain will not be opened. Javanikachannam. The Javanikachannam means the curtain we cannot understand. So this is the first principle Kunti Maharani is pointing out in our life. So our life you mold in such a way that whatever may be the condition, you should take only, determined to take only prasadam. And that is that one is we get facility in our ashram. Ashram will have only prasadam. So that way we are solving one major problem. But taking so much prasadam is also a issue. Atyahara. So it should be regulated, but yuktahara viharas. So you have to take regulated. The second point she is pointing out, why we are unable to understand is the independent nature of every one of us, the independent nature. Not accepting the authority of Krishna is the independent nature. So Krishna is the supreme, and according to his agna, Yashagnya Brahmati Samprata Kala Chakro, according to his agna, everything is going on in this world. Not accepting that and thinking you're independent. And independent is good. But independent depending on authority. That is independence. Not that so I can do whatever I want to do. I can do whatever I want to do. These are all things what spoil your devotional service. You will not be able to understand. You may be advanced so much, then you become independent after advancing, then again you come down. So much endeavor we put. So these are all the basic principles. Or for example, Prabhupada is saying bowing down in front of authority is good for a neophyte devotees. So we are all neophyte devotees. So bowing down before authority is nothing wrong. Especially Srila Prabhupada and deities. As soon as you come to temple, you pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, and paying obeisance to Radha Krishna Chandra, Nitai Gauranga. These are all assets for us. As well as temple authorities means temple commander, president, vice president. These are all authority Krishna has put, Prabhupada has put. So nothing wrong in reverentially giving respect to the obedience to the senior people. So this obedience, this place, we should always think this place is the training ground to go back to the Lord. So all the practices, whatever you wanted to express to Krishna personally, all the practices you can do here. For example, you don't like something, but still you have to follow. So once you must be knowing, one devotee, I think Brahmanand or some devotee. So this devotee doesn't want to pay obeisances to Prabhupada. Whenever Prabhupada comes, everybody paying obeisances. The devotee is naturally he is not getting interest. Then he went and told same thing to Prabhupada. I am not getting interest to pay obeisances to you. Somehow I am not getting. Then what Prabhupada told? First, forcefully do it. Then you get reverence. Then he started doing forcefully. Then he became very good devotee. Please Prabhupada. So it's like we don't like so many things. We don't like so many people also. It is not that we don't like that. Mind is created in such a way that it wants to spoil us continuously. Say, this is more important to know that you are not really acting, you are a spirit soul, but mind is there, it is a culprit which is acting now. So this differentiation we should understand. That requires following the Principles and pleasing the spiritual master. Yasya prasadas bhavatu prasad. Spiritual master should be pleased. So you need, actually these are all things, if you want to practice, you need devotees association. Among the devotees only you can practice. Whatever positive, whatever negative, whatever may be. If you don't have anybody, what you will practice? And if you go to forest, what you will practice? You will not be advancing at all. You think you are advanced, but not advancing at all. So Prabhupada has laid down these principles from Rupa Goswami's and Nectar of Devotion as well as Haribhakta Vilas. These principles laid down and made a very, very brief and very simple package for Kali Yuga souls, especially for us. Very simple package. Not complicated, very simple package. Still, the effects are very, very high. So, another way to understand Krishna is to satisfy pure devotee. It's called Krupa Siddhi. Krupa Siddhi means pure devotee likes your service. Pure devotee bestows mercy upon you. That's all. You are out of this platform. So, a devotee's desire is always to satisfy pure devotee. Satisfy Acharya. There is no other desire you should develop. Only desire is to satisfy pure devotee, and you should understand and associate with the devotees who are all serving them, serving spiritual master. Understand from them how can you satisfy Prabhupada. Advaitam achyutam anadi manantarupam Adyam Purana Purushan Avayavanam cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atmakto. You can easily reach Krishna by pure devotee service. This is the greatest benediction Hare Krishna movement we have. Just by satisfying Srila Prabhupada, you will go back to Lord. Prabhupada will take you back to the Lord. Prabhupada says, this is my responsibility to take you back to the Lord if you do my service. So, this is very, very exciting. So, I wanted to read, these are all very, very historic and events happened during the Prabhupada time. You must have read, I don't know, but it is very, very exciting to know how Srila Prabhupada built Juhu temple. So Juhu temple is a 4 acres land in Juhu we got, and Prabhupada purchased that land. But that owner, landlord, is a cheater. What he does, he gives land, an agreement, he gives short period, some period, and somehow after he takes agreement amount, then he puts some case on them. Something they didn't follow like that. And usurp the agreement's money. So like that, this person, and he is a highly influential person locally. So now, when Prabhupada went and he purchased the land, he has given the money. Then this person, what he did is, he made, Prabhupada built a temple there. Just some shelter he built for, and he installed the deities. Radha Rasbihari. Now this person managed that Bombay municipal authorities because he is a very influential person. And he got the demolition order. That means order has come, they have to demolish this temple now. Deities are there inside. And they came for demolishing. Some 100 people, 150 people came. And the government with order. Imagine, who can stop them? Nobody can stop. They get rid of this, all the devotees threw them out, and they started demolishing. They came to the roof of the temple where Das Bihari is staying, they demolished parts also, some parts. Then Bal Thackeray, who was that time Shiva Sena, one party was there. He was the leader of the Shiv Sena, and he came in supporting Srila Prabhupada, stopped somehow this one. Now court is going to be next day. Next day court is going to listen the argument. Only one day. Say this today they demolished, and tomorrow court is going to. No, court then generally gives status quo. Anything no, they don't understand, right? Whatever happens. Let us give the status quo. One day time is there. So today morning, early morning, these people came mob and they wanted to destroy. Stopped it. Only one day is there. It is actually they have actually broken whole thing. Temple has broken. Everything is broken. No temple existing as of now. Only some part of roof is existing, I think. If we get status quo, then there is no worship at all. It's almost demolished. Then Prabhupada caught hold of this P.L. Sethi, one contractor. He's just a contractor. He told P.L. Sethi to do something. Then P.L. Sethi, it's impossible actually. He's narrating his experiences. We'll go through that. One day time is there. That is Sunday. Monday court is going to hear. Saturday this event happened. Sunday nobody works in India or in all over world. Nobody works. So this person, what he did, P.L. Sethi, somehow he has got some 2-3 contractors. He's a contractor, so 2-3 constructions were there. He pulled out the material, but labor, no labor. Somehow he got the labor. You see how courage, how he is empowered actually. And he about to start, continuous pouring of water, pouring of rain, full big rain. Then he stood there. He told you, don't worry, go on build. We'll see. After that rain stopped, started building. Then these guys, opposite guys, came and told, we'll bring 200 gundas now, we'll remove you, we'll kill you. This guy, his son was there, like some 20 years age. So those days, they used to have high profile people, no? So they used to have this rifle, pistols. So that pistol he gave it to that. His name is Brij Mohan. He told you, sit there. There 200 bullets are there. There are 150 people. You kill 150 people and use this 200 bullets. I am doing this work. You don't get out of this place. So these 2 people only, they built next day morning 4 o'clock before Mangalarti. They built whole thing up. Hari Bol. Next day case is there. When case came, okay, built temple built go hai na, kya karega? Kuch nahi karega. Whatever built is built. Don't disturb that. We'll go for argument. Like that court has given. And one more important thing is Prabhupada has spent a lot of energy on this Juhu temple. Because it is a central place. Once you get the temple, that's all. That ISKCON is going to be known to everybody, because Bombay is a very, very prominent place. Today also it's a prominent place. Those days also it's a very, very prominent and business area. That's all. It's a center, it is Juhu, and everybody has to pass through that. Prabhupada selection, you see. Even most of the places Prabhupada selection is on the main. That is Prabhupada selected. Here also Prabhupada selected on main. See, Prabhupada selection. Prabhupada always selects on the main road. Because once established, that's all. Hundreds of years people come and lakhs of people get Prabhupada's message. That's the idea. And this P.L. Sethi, he was not a devotee like us chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds. But by his attitude, by his activity, he pleased Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is very much pleased with him. Once he was constructing a room for devotees, and construction was going on. And every day he used to go Srila Prabhupada and have darshan. And that day he was fully mud, with all mud and cement and everything is on. So he thought, okay, let us not go with this dress with Prabhupada. Then mind is forcing, okay, why don't just go and see Prabhupada, what is that? He went and saw Prabhupada. Prabhupada specially called, said, you are constructing devotees house, temple. So Krishna is making one building for you on Golok Vrindavana. So then he said, Swamiji, I am such a sinful person. I don't do anything. I don't have any taste for anything. How can I go to Krishna Loka? So Prabhupada said, that is not your responsibility. That is my responsibility to take you back. And then Prabhupada started asking him, are you chanting? No, I don't know all those things, Swamiji. I don't know chanting, eating. So then what is the difference between you and pig? Pig is there with piglets, and that is also living, you are also living. So I don't. Then what you do in the morning? Morning I get up and I take one coffee and then go on reading newspaper. Then Prabhupada instructed the devotees, every Sunday morning, you go to this person's house, do Nagar Sankirtan. So all the devotees used to go to his house, do the Nagar Sankirtan, and every Sunday 1 year they did. Like that he got associated with ISKCON. See, if we think Prabhupada did very ordinary, we see generally videos, whatever we see, it's like ordinary person. But he's not an ordinary person. Prabhupada is very extraordinary. So, temple work about to start. When you're anything about to start, we'll go for a soil testing report. In soil testing report, that is near to Juhu. That means it is a sea coast. Sea coast, it is Juhu and it's whole sand. So they are saying piling. Piling costs so much those days. 15 feet piling. Today piling machines have come. Those days piling machines were not there. It was imported. So much cost. And Prabhupada, the PL came and said, we have to go for piling 15 feet. No doubt. Prabhupada said, no, on our land, no piling is required. Simply saying he thought. And he gave it to all the samples, all the tests, so many places he tested, and they brought all the people, and while everybody is saying piling is required, Prabhupada is saying no piling is required. This person didn't understand. He is not a civil engineer. Prabhupada is not a civil engineer. He is a normal, ordinary Swamiji like. So he is telling something and they are telling Swamiji, you give me solution. No, piling is, tomorrow you call Boer people, Boer. The people who put Boer, no? So Boer people came. When the Boer people came, after 6 to 7 feet, it is not going. Then he called soil test people. And they found this particular area, sandstone melted area, whole thing. And they said you can build without much foundation 8 floors that area. See, Prabhupada. So Prabhupada knows everything. It's not that Prabhupada doesn't know anything. Prabhupada knows. And Prabhupada took him back to Lord. When he died, that time devotees all are chanting and well, he is chanting and he left this world. This PL Sethi is a contractor. He's not like a devotee. So, what I mean to say, our ultimate goal is to satisfy Srila Prabhupada, if you have this kind of a goal to satisfy Srila Prabhupada, then obviously there are so many anomalies in our life. We may not be very perfect person, we have so many issues. But this satisfaction in Prabhupada in a community, staying in a community and understanding things and increasing your maturity will make you realize who you are, who is Krishna is. Prabhupada's blessings, people won't understand one point. If you want to realize Lord, our self-realization happens only by the mercy of pure devotee. Without pure devotee's mercy, you may be a big personality, always you are chanting, dancing, this thing, that thing, always you are so in big, your whole time you are spending hardly. But until unless you can contact with pure devotee, you will not be able to understand. 5.14 sloka Prabhupada purport says, the jiva is rotating from here to here to there, so much rotation, but only can understand Lord when it comes in contact with pure devotee. So this is very, very auspicious position for all of us. We are all in touch with pure devotee, devotees association, and it is very recent pastime. It's only 50 years pastime, and we have some devotees who are in Srila Prabhupada, and all videos are there with us. So let us increase our attachment to the law Srila Prabhupada. Our attachment to the Srila Prabhupada. That doesn't mean that only Srila Prabhupada is there, I am there. Not like that. Through the association, there are a lot of devotees who actually dedicatedly serving Srila Prabhupada. Through the association, by giving respect to each and every devotee, not losing respect, you can develop, and Prabhupada will take us back to the Lord. So with this I close. Is there any questions? Grandhara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Nitaya Gaur Premanandi.
Hare Krishna. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell